All right, the time is now 6:37. I'm going to call to order the regular meeting of the Tilton Budget Committee for January 25th, 2017. And first order of business is a review of the meeting minutes. Take a few minutes to do that.
I just have one thing on page 3. The HIPAA Act is, just for spelling, is it HIPAA, HIPAA, and it's all caps.
All right, is there anything, other comments or corrections?
I'll make a motion to accept the January 18, 2017 meetings minutes as amended.
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so done. All right. Did everybody get a copy of the latest budget? And I think we discussed all the changes and additions that were made.
So since last meeting, there was
Yeah.
no changes?
No. We had changes that we gave out at the last meeting.
Yeah, and we voted on them?
Yeah, and we voted on those. Take a few minutes to look it over and see if there are any comments or... Mr. Pearson, do you have any comments or any?
I was just going to say, you'll note on the cover that the selectmen are still working on the warrant articles, so it shows to be determined.
Okay.
I didn't hear that. There was a fall.
The selectmen are still working on the warrant articles, so you'll see to be determined on the cover.
All right, and there will be some additions and changes once we get the warrant articles.
No, won't you?
I mean, we'll have some additional funds once we have the warrant articles that we'll have to look at, because they're all the money funds. Do you know how many there are?
No,
Okay.
no idea. And there could be petition ones as well, we don't know that.
Oh, the deadline hasn't been, when is the deadline?
I think the petition.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Any other comments before we talk with, and anybody else got any comments on it?
This.
The budget as we have it? Nothing?
Operating budget?
All right, the next order of business is to talk with the sewer commission again. Would you guys like to join us?
Did you sign in?
It is.
I love doing that to them.
But you can't hear us, Jane?
I can't see you.
You can't reach.
I'm Catherine.
I know.
Peter. Or maybe I'll be Jason tonight.
There you go.
Okay, this,
See, they're separating us.
Why am I separating?
Well, you got, I don't want to interrupt the public.
Got lost. Oh, no, it's at 7.
Who would like to start?
Yeah, we have another 2 minutes.
Did everybody get the information that we requested?
it's this, right?
No.
Yeah, it was emailed.
It's the new sheet that says Tilton Sewer
Yeah.
Commission expenses.
Yep.
Okay.
Here it is, yes.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Jules, we'll start with you. Any comments or questions?
I guess I have a question about, just in general, how us, as a board member or as a taxpayer request, if we would like to see, say for instance, you go over the handbook, like, what kind of authorities, or how does that work? That was something you guys would decide ultimately. As
I'm not sure
commissioners.
what you're asking.
Like, if we have a request,
I mean, if you want to see any
it's
documents or...
no, like,
Well, they talked about the
we got
handbook
two
last-
boards here, and, this is the Budget Committee Board, and you guys are a commission, similar to a board.
We're a governing body, just like the selectmen. Only the
So-
only thing we govern is sewer.
So, if we were, and this isn't really, well, I guess it's indirectly related, but if we want to ask of you to do something, make a change, or say, go over the handbook, renew it or whatever, we would just ask you as a taxpayer then.
Right.
It wouldn't
The RSA specifically defines the authority of the sewer commission, but just like the Board of Selectmen, if, like a town meeting, the last warrant article has no legal carry, but it's like any other business that may come before the body. And often people will stand up and express displeasures or pleasures, and we'd like you to do this, and the selectmen go, oh. And we come back and discuss it, and, if it's reasonable, most times the board will say, okay, we'll do that. So it's the same kind of thing. If, somebody feels that we should do something differently, whether it's, I think you're talking about the employee handbook?
Right.
Or anything else like that, then it's just a matter of going to a sewer commissioners meeting and just saying, I think you guys should do that. We'd like to see you do this and have a conversation with them. That conversation has never taken place with the sewer commissioners, by the way, either by the Board of Selectmen or anybody else. It's come up this year, and it's
Right.
been rumblings, but this is the first time it's been really outwardly
Yeah.
spoken about.
Well,
And I suggest you go to some of the sewer commissioners' meetings, because
We get lonely.
I'm sure you
Nobody
guys
comes
do.
unless they want something.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, I know. But. It's true. Anyway, Jane?
No, I just,
Well, I was going to add on to
Way around the
her, so
room.
basically what that means is, why are we looking at this if there's not anything we can do?
Well, you can,
there are stuff,
'Cause it's
things that we can do. That's not,
Yeah, so
that's
what-
not
it's-
what what
explain.
she's talking about is something very separate from the budget.
It's,
We
Right.
cannot in any way impact policy.
Okay.
That's not in our purview.
right.
We're looking at money issues. She just had that question, I believe, because it was addressed at the last meeting, and it was noted that the sewer commission at the present time are using the 2005 employee manual, while the selectmen are using one that is much later, and I don't think we ever got a date on that. 2012? 14?
My point is, and, one of the things in the handbook, and it's a budget item, is, let's just be honest, is that we have town employees who are getting different types of benefits packages. And that is a budget issue, and it would be great if everybody had the same across the board.
Well, we already have it, if not even looking at the sewer commission. You've got a union contract that has different criteria than town employees.
True.
But that's a bargain for unit,
That's-
which is very separate from...
That is separate.
But it is different.
This is not a union shop,
Oh,
but town...
okay. By the
okay?
same token, then, couldn't the board adopt what the police have, and that way it stays the same?
If you want to form a union,
Why
No,
don't
no,
we do that?
no, I'm talking
That's a-
on,
that's
you were talking
No,
the
the
benefits.
selectmen
of-
have that preview.
that's a negotiated contract.
Yes, theirs is negotiated.
Between the
Right.
union and management.
Now, listen,
Okay.
Jane. Once that's settled, couldn't the board then adopt the same benefits that were negotiated in the union contract for the non-union?
Yes.
They
Why
do
don't
for
we?
the
We
health
tried
insurance.
Try to,
We don't know what
Except for its different percentages.
try to.
I don't know what it will be this year, but, yeah, it is.
We haven't seen this year, so...
And in fact, the police department paid higher percentage
Right,
last
right.
year. So it
Oh, I
would be a
know.
comparison.
So we've got it in other areas within town also.
Yeah. But they have a manual that they renegotiate every 5 years. Is it every 5 years? Every 3 years, okay? And the town obviously updated their manual in 2014. Now, I don't think that the union contract is an employee manual. What we were talking about last week, and what we're continuing to talk about tonight, is an employee manual
You referenced benefits specifically, and I'm just
found
counting it.
in the employee manual. Let's be very clear. We referred to benefits that are referred to in the employee manual of 2012 and 14 and 2005. That's not a contract. That's a contract signed between the employee and the governing body
But
they
what's the
report to.
difference, Jane, if we're paying out benefits? If you're paying benefits,
Well, I
why
think
isn't it the same?
it's a game of semantics. I guess my question,
Well, okay, you want another counter? All your benefits are raised through and appropriated through taxation, right?
that's correct,
How are ours paid?
through taxation as well.
No, through user fees. We don't tax you for that. It's all the user fees.
I believe the sewer department, you do tax for the hookups to the sewer.
No, we charge user fees, it's not a
User
tax, it's a
fees.
user fee.
No taxes.
True, but it's still employees.
But the betterments were charged to
Still
all
money out
the,
of the
All
all
the
the people in
town.
town.
Is that any different than
Don't we represent
a new
the
police
taxpayers?
cruiser, or when we get a new police station, that goes to everyone in town? You got to remember, the sewer commission and the Board of Selectmen have the same geographical area, unlike the water district, because it's a district, because it's not all of Tilton, it's a part of Tilton.
You don't have all the same geographical area. There
Yeah.
are parts of Tilton that are not, that do not have the sewer.
No.
They're still,
They're in the sewer commission's area when it was, that's why we are a commission and not a district.
right.
When we were formed in the early 80s, the selectmen opted for the commission. And that way, it's the entire town, which is why anytime we did a bond, we didn't poll the existing users, we polled the entire town, because everyone has an equal vote.
Well, I think that this is getting, we can debate that issue, and I think if we're going to debate that kind of issue, we need to do that in front of the entire community governing body.
That's
What
right.
we're here to discuss tonight is the budget of the sewer
Right.
commission, okay? So let's
Yep.
keep it to that, and let's not get off on what, is it any different from, and we can
You
debate
guys
all
went to
night.
the employee
and I'll be
manual.
happy to.
I basically raised a question.
And that was all.
Because it's sort of related
Can I answer
to-
Christine's question
Yes,
about
you
the
may.
budget? So just as an example, if you look at our maintenance line, you can see that it's been pretty close to the same for these years. It hasn't been altered, but if we came in here tonight and it was $300,000, we didn't have a reasonable explanation for why, you could reduce that back down to the 95. You see what I'm
So
saying?
any of these items can be reduced?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you think we're saving for Tahiti or something, you can.
Could I
Say
come,
more.
because that was going to actually be my next question, because, I asked about the reserve fund balance last time, and even if you had, let's say, you said it'd be like 100,000 and pump repair could be like 100,000. This is 700,000, and you're still asking for 462,000, so.
Well, I think Peter explained last week that we're looking at possibly running sewer to the west end. It's beginning to be developed as a big patch of land out there for sale and whatnot. And the sewer,
Street or something, no?
West Main Street.
Oh, West Main, that's right, he did say.
So the sewer commission would be required to pay all of those costs up front before the grant would reimburse. So in order to do that, we have to have those upfront monies.
Right, and how much would, I thought that it was said last meeting, like 100,000 would be like.
Well, that's just one cost.
Oh.
That's like engineering.
Oh,
Then you have to, design, and then it gets crazy.
Let's say we have an earthquake,
Well, that would be hideous.
and it ruptures,
We don't do
It
fracking
ruptures
here, so
the
we don't do
sewer
fracking, so
infrastructure.
that's highly unlikely.
We're on a fault, I believe, that does have activity. That money isn't even enough to cover what we'd have to do.
No, it's not even close.
If we want to do any large length of repair, I think if I'm digging in pavement, a ballpark price is going to be $100 a linear foot.
So you don't really have any insurance for catastrophes or
Liability,
sort
but
of?
that's not,
That's not the same.
yeah.
Well, I think that'd be an act of God, which probably they'd say no. Sorry.
Well, I don't know how it works with sewer.
It would be disaster
Yeah, I don't
if
think
we had
you
an
can insure
earthquake,
equipment.
but
Okay.
still.
So we would
Other
just be
stuff would
screwed.
show up later.
Pretty
Something like
much.
that happened.
We're
2-3
very
years.
concerned about
Yeah.
We would have to get
what we're sitting on.
Yeah.
was it a grant from?
The road people seem to be required to do, this 10-year plans and stuff, and it's really hard to actually decide where, all this money
I
without
can come up
any
with a 10-year plan, but if you want me to implement it, it's going to require raising our user fees. So if that's what the budget committee wants, we can put something together.
Well, I think for
I
your
don't
own,
think that's
for
what I
the
was saying, but-
taxpayers' own good, you should be putting something together in terms of a plan.
Yeah, with
Well, you have
extra
to-
money.
That's not what the budget committee, I just think that would be a good idea, and I would think that would be something important.
Well,
Or,
except that with all the sewer projects that have gone for it in the past. There isn't much more to sewer. We're not going to sewer the agricultural area. So the only place left for a sewer project is West Main Street and probably up Clark Road a little bit, depending on ledge or whatever.
You wanna,
So
you
the
talk
only,
about what development on West Main Street, the storage trailers that are going in, the land, tract of land? that was
Tony,
bought?
From the
that-
west end of
there's a
the high
big-
school, basically the town line.
there's a lot of undeveloped property, and Tony Turchin's property is for sale.
No, I know that.
So the only 10-year plan
That's
that we would
commercial.
have would be what is our plan for repairing this area, which is the
Right,
oldest.
like
And
updating
as we've
pumps
said, right
or
now,
like that.
it's as needed, because we're kind of concentrating on West Main Street. But, I guess we could prepare a
We can
plan
come
and
up with
say,
a plan.
yearly.
West
Start
Main Street
implementing
is
it,
primarily
and we'll get it.
commercial, so
Well, a plan is a plan, and what, it would be upon enough funds to implement. We're not, it just sounds
I
like a big
understand, but if we
arguing
start
session
cutting that
here.
reserve down and something breaks somewhere else, then we have to go to raise and appropriate, which is what we try not to do. The
So
only
plan
time
can
we
be
do that
developed
is
for
on a brand-new
repair.
project, because we're getting
And
federal
maintenance.
grants
I was
and
gonna say,
state
don't you get
grants.
Especially if
grants
you
or
need
anything
new
like
pumps
that
or
anyway?
something,
Oh, yeah.
Can't get the tours.
Any more questions,
I have
Christine?
one other thing, and this isn't, I feel bad because Joanne is here, but her being our secretary at their rate kind of seems outrageous. So she could be doing more sewer stuff or something like that. That's my other thing.
She's not at sewer rate.
That's what they said last week. She gets paid her sewer hour or wage
Only you can
towards her hours.
answer that.
I believe we pay the overtime if
They
she
pay
kicks
it,
into
yeah.
overtime.
But our hours of doing budget could trigger the
Oh, yeah,
overtime
so-
kicking
Well, you
in.
can say that, or if she's working Friday, that's when the overtime kicked in.
How many hours of overtime did we were paid? It doesn't have an overtime budget, like all the other budgets
No.
have an overtime budget.
Do you have an idea of how many hours of overtime you did last year?
I could not tell you.
I can look it up. It's,
Shouldn't that be reflected in the budget, though, I think?
I think it was Guilford or somebody was advertising the paper to do minutes, having somebody to do it, $12 an hour.
That's probably why they have the ad.
I thought that was low. It seemed a little low for doing minutes.
Somebody offering the service?
No,
It's the payroll.
looking to hire somebody.
I think there's some,
That is little
We've got a meter reader and lawn maintenance also included for
About 14, right?
I think we're paying 21.
what's included in the payroll?
The the wages of the sewer administrator, the meter reader, and the person we contract to maintain the landscape around some of the pump stations.
It's too much. Less.
I have the answer
I agree.
for 2016. It was 33 and a quarter hours.
I would like to point out, though, that I'm on call 24/7.
Yeah, she
And I
is.
respond to sewer emergencies all the time. So,
Right, that doesn't mean it was budget.
right, and I would just like to
That's just total overtime.
make that clear.
Right, yeah. 33 hours.
Okay. I just have one question. What percentage for your employees, for the three employees you're talking about, what percentage of their wages and their benefit packages, what percentage of your total budget is that?
Oh, that'd be a Tim question.
Math
Either
person.
ask Tim, or it'll take me a minute on the cell phone. Want to help me, chief?
Sure.
You got a calculator?
It's not a lot.
including the commissioners.
Mm-hmm.
Commissioners get paid?
Yeah.
Well, stipend.
Stipend.
Looks like,
No hourly wage.
If you want it, we can put you on that phone tree for that
oh,
midnight call.
God. Yeah, that's why when she said earthquake, I said, oh, there goes the
Oh,
phones.
don't worry, it's not during business hours. There's always nights, weekends, and holidays.
4th of July?
Oh, yeah. Thanksgiving.
A good manual dexterity, and long skinny arms.
Jane, 7, it's after 7. Should we,
No, it doesn't matter.
doesn't
There's
matter?
nobody
No
here.
You can open it and then just go
Yeah.
on with your meeting.
Wait till he gives me the figure.
Oh, all right. Okay, I didn't know if you had to stick to it.
No.
Actually, you do. I think you do, yeah. Actually, you do.
But you can just open it and then,
Yeah, why don't you?
This is like a bottom line budget anyway,
Yeah.
so.
Well, it depends what you want. If you want to be like the county, I suppose we can do it that way, too.
All line.
Oh, yeah.
The time is
They
now
hold each line.
7:05. I'm going to open up the public hearing now, but while we continue to do this, okay?
perfect.
So, I mean, if you
Anything?
had extra repairs in one thing, you can pull out of another line, or,
Yes.
and likewise, you can put.
I
There.
had a feeling.
We've also had years where we've gone over budget.
The answer is 22.9%,
22.9%.
including commission salaries, disability insurance, health,
Commission stipends,
commissioner.
I don't understand.
yeah.
Disability, health, workers' comp,
Retirement,
FICA, retirement, payroll, and uniforms.
okay. All right.
So just under $105,000, or 22.9%. 22.7%.
A little over 20%?
22.9.
20%?
That's like 23%.
22.7.
Quarter of it.
You're way off.
There you go.
A quarter of your budget is spent on that. I wanted to just find out. Okay. I'd just like more explanation, like, I have a copy of the agreement between Northfield and the Aqueduct Company, and is this the one that was presented to you, that you could accept it or not accept it?
I've never seen
I believe it.
that, so
I think you
can't.
had a meeting with the water district.
The other two commissioners did. I figured it was
Okay.
best if
And
I did.
Johanna. They talked about it, but, I mean, quite frankly, it's cheaper for the Tilton Sewer Commission to hire an employee to take those meter readings than any offer we've gotten from the water district.
Well, it was my understanding that what they were willing to do was the billing, the meter reading, this is what I was told by the water company, okay? Personnel to provide any support, phone calls, emails, in person with the customers, banking, coordination with the town, anything that was needed, they could take care of it. The insurance policy covering it.
Can't wait for the price.
The price, and
It
I
was like
believe,
$12,000?
yeah,
12 grand?
Yeah.
We're paying
Far less than that.
$400 or so a quarter to have an employee do the readings, and as part of Johanna's regular duties, she does all the billing.
And it's a very small percentage of her time because we bill quarterly.
I would also like to point out that there is a good number of sewer users down in Lochmere that Tilton Northfield Water
Right.
District does not serve.
It's only a small portion. Or, no, it's about half, right? Isn't it about half?
How many are in
What?
Northwood?
We got, the biggest chunk is the water district.
Is it? So we'd still have to read, regardless of what arrangements we make with the water district, if we make them, we still have to read meters
In the Lockmere?
in the eastern
In the
part of
Lockmere.
town. Well, Lockmere and Winnisquam, the Anchorage, there's 3 projects down there. So we'd still have to read those meters and have somebody to read them. So we're not like Northfield, where I think all of their uses are within the water district.
Except for sort of,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Was that price?
Which I don't know if they're billing yet or not.
For Northfield or for Tilton?
That was, this sheet is the one that is for Northfield, but I was told that Tilton was presented the same. The $12,000 is for Tilton.
Yeah, I've never gotten any of that, and I don't
No.
know. that-
Isn't that what you were told?
Yeah, didn't they have a meeting? I'm looking for the...
We had a meeting, and that was briefly discussed.
And it was in the
But
minutes?
as I said, we pointed out that we still, regardless of whatever arrangement we might make with the water district, we still have to have a meter reader. And Johanna will still have to bill out those customers that are not within the water district. So, like I said, it's cheaper for us to continue on. But,
I guess it depends on how much you could be paying to get meter
yes. What,
readings.
Control C and how many page report?
but we have a communication line open with the district, so we'll see where it goes.
Okay.
It's a negotiation process.
Wasn't there something about $18 per person or something?
Per user,
Per
that's what,
user.
I think you're the
There's
one that
been-
gave us that, right?
And we've gone beyond that with
It
them.
is.
So right now, there's another negotiation on the table beyond that.
What, with the water company? What, for reading, meter reading and billing and all?
For hitting Control C, Jane, and printing out the report and handing us the copy.
I don't think it was the offer that's to,
We've never
Northfield.
looked to them to do our billing. We've only looked to them to get the data so we could do the billing.
I think, did you find the minutes?
I didn't see it. Yeah, I know I had it.
1 minute, we're trying to find the minutes for the sewer.
Do you know if they've been
Water
accepted?
department.
The
Don't
last
know if
meeting?
they've met since we met. They must
With the
have.
water?
Seems long enough. They meet once a month, don't they?
I don't know, I'm not in the district.
I don't remember when our meeting was. I think it was in December. Seems to me they must have met since then.
Yeah, it was early, like the first week of December.
I think so. Maybe the second, but not
I was
after.
thinking like the 5th.
After 91 a.m.
Do you have to do both? TNWD, TNAC?
No. Depends on what information you want, but not for this.
I didn't bring my tablet, I should have.
Are we still looking something up?
Yeah,
Water District minutes, I guess.
yeah.
Any other questions on?
Say, can I ask my final question?
Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't have.
Now that we have the three-year comparison, I think that, payroll seems to be a pretty hot topic over here, and it's the item that's always over budget. Even if you look at maintenance, it went over budget, but it evens out. Never has payroll been at budget or below. I mean, in these 3 years, excuse me. Is there a reason for that?
Yes. Johanna is a department head, no different than we got department heads downstairs. So basically, as you've heard, not only does she do the normal 35-hour week job, she ggets called out at all.
747, yeah.
So I'm just trying to get more in line with some of the other department heads in town hall.
And why isn't
Kinda
she not on the
saying that
salary
why
like other
you
department
don't
heads?
ask for enough. It's never been enough,
Well, as her,
you know what I mean?
as her responsibilities have increased. It's like she's not always sitting in town hall doing secretarial administrative work. You know, if we have a line being pumped, if there's a station down, she's down there overseeing it with the purveyors, and
My
or she's
question-
down there fixing it herself.
If Johanna is a department head, like the other department heads downstairs, as Peter said, why isn't she on salary?
Is the planner on salary?
He's not a department head, is he?
Yes.
and
Oh,
zoning.
okay. All right, is he the only one that's on?
The
Not yet, anyway.
The sewer commissioners have not discussed whether to put her on salary or not, and as you can see, her overtime is not excessive enough to,
33 and a quarter.
At
so,
33 hours, would make it
No.
huge.
you know, like, it doesn't, you know, if she was hundreds of hours of overtime, then, yeah, that'd be a discussion, but
So can we expect, though, the pay increases to
Pay increases, then it's
to
gonna go
be at the same percentage in the following years, or do you have sort of a plan, or?
So you're asking, are we projecting the same percent increases in future years? Was that
Like
the-
I am-
2% every
I'm-
year,
If you
or
have an
roughly?
idea, like it started out, you know.
Right, no, I think we're sort of
Yeah.
at a point where you're going to see it level off. We're getting closer to the place where we wanted.
So it
Okay.
wasn't percentage, you were trying to catch up to
Right,
whatever
the pay
a
is-
head would
You were trying,
normally-
yeah.
the
I was
pay
trying
is
to get an
now
idea of where
commensurate with
you're
the
thinking.
duties that are being performed. Like I said, she's no longer just sitting there administrative and going to meetings and whatnot that are required, but
Oh, okay, so
she's out physically,
Construction inspection.
yep,
this is.
working in the field.
All right.
Yeah, she is a
She does the
superintendent,
training and stuff.
basically.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yep.
She's our only
Trying to get an
employee,
idea
so.
of your,
On the full,
what's going on.
Only full-time employee.
Yeah.
What is that?
we have two others.
All right, there any other questions, comments?
Well, it's Eric's turn now. You only did us two.
Well, I said, are there any other comments or questions? Thank-
Huh? Okay.
Good.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, is there any comments or questions from the public?
Doesn't there have to be public to have questions from the public?
You're now the public, yeah.
Technically, you guys are
They're
public now.
She's public, because I know she's not,
I live in Dallas.
she doesn't live in town, so she's not public.
I'm one of the disenfranchised ones.
Well, it could be the neighbors could be here saying what a great job Tilton does. People from other towns in the audience.
No, I got mine.
That's mine.
Any other comments or questions? All right, being none, I'm going to close the public hearing. Do we have any other business? We'll have the warrant articles the next meeting. We won't have the warrant articles next Wednesday?
It's a public hearing.
Probably not.
Okay, so we should schedule our next meeting when we have the warrants for...
Well, there's no
public-
bond articles, so there's no, oh,
You don't know that, do
I
you?
don't know that.
When is the next public hearing?
Well, 15,
15th?
So we should resolve that tomorrow night. Whether we-
and they have to be in by then, so...
Right. We don't have, we're going over a couple that we know of, like the sidewalk in the highway and the things that we know that are going to be in there. The couple that we're coming up on, the board hasn't made decisions yet. We'll be trying to make some decisions tomorrow, probably next week. So my guess is 2 or 3 weeks we'll have the warrant. A good picture of what the warrants are. That would be my guess.
And you'll get those to Johanna so she can just,
As soon as we get them,
Okay.
the next day, we'll get them.
If we could probably do the same thing at the next one, go over the warrant articles. and
Yeah.
Yay or nay 'em.
yep,
So, that's my
Okay.
thought.
did you? Next public hearing, we'll go over the warrant articles and,
Okay. Do we have that scheduled?
yeah, the 15th.
February 15th? Ah, 15.
6:30?
Roses
Yeah.
are cheap that day, just saying.
6:30, Johanna?
Taxes is every 15th
They
of
go
the month.
about they're a quarter of the price the day before.
Romance.
I gotta make sure I'm set before that.
Peter the Romantic.
Okay?
I'm
Frugal.
Jane, did you want to at least meet to get, to look at what we have so far on the 8th? Won't be complete, but how about if we have something,
If you,
you know?
yeah, let us know, and we can call one, but I don't foresee any reason that we wouldn't be able to review them if you will get them to us and we can review them individually. And we're meeting at 6:30 and our public hearing won't start until 7.
Yep.
So we can discuss them at that time, but you
Yeah,
think?
most of them are just yes or no.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's the standard capital reserve fund ones, but the big one would be the collective bargaining agreement. And that...
And there's not much we can do about that.
Just yes or no, and that's
Yeah,
And then also, we'll have the petitions. We can send you the petition ones if they come in, if they have,
if they have money involved on them.
you have to make a vote.
Do you have any petition, when are they doing?
Second Tuesday of February.
Okay, we had that question earlier. You had asked.
I believe there was an email from the chairman of the Conservation Commission asking for our approval on
We don't,
the town forest.
we don't need to do that. I checked with Joyce on that, and that's why she brought it up at the selectmen's meeting last week, and it was approved at the selectmen's meeting, so it will be. It's not something, unless there's money involved in it,
We have a
we don't
meeting
have
on
to
the 1st.
approve or disapprove it.
For
So
some
we have-
reason, the application for it or something
At the budget.
had the
Yeah.
budget listed.
Right.
that
Yeah.
approval on
We approved it to put it...
They approved it.
To put it on the budget, on the warrant. All right.
Yeah, I just need to look and see.
No, I ran that through by
Official
Joyce.
ballot.
I didn't know, Chuck didn't know either, so that's why he sent it.
So we can send a note back to Chuck
I'm
saying,
going to. I gotta call him about something else anyway.
okay, that's the only thing.
Can't think of anything else for anybody?
So does that mean the next meeting is the 15th? It's not next week either? Just want to be clear.
Yeah.
Like, we'll be running here.
I'll write 6:30 down this time.
And 6:30,
Six.
yeah.
Oh,
It came in an
6:30.
email
I almost
by
said
Tim.
that.
I read it.
Good for you.
The
Actually,
email
I showed
came
up
out,
here
but
last
they-
night.
Motion to adjourn?
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Yeah, I showed up here last night. Thinking,